So and on the sports road in a Zadar.
If I may, Wesley, it is.
Yes,
No, like I said, I want to just talk and then no disrespect.
Okay.
And then we put down. What gives, and I'm all for teachers, huh? Don't get me wrong, I'm all for discipline in school. But what gives? My cell phone costs $149. My son's cell phone, and he's working, my son's cell phone costs $700 US. What gives the right to a teacher to take out a battery of a cell phone?
If I could just clarify that right off, that is not what happened with.
Vastly inaccurate.
No.
That's what was reported.
Yes,
And it's vastly inaccurate.
but we know the press, Wesley. They don't always get
it right.
their facts right.
No, let me just clarify that the student dismantled the cell phone on the desk while the teacher was teaching. Yes, that is what happened.
Actually, another way. So few male teachers, like in my day in the 60s going to school, 60s and the 70s going to school, there are more male teachers. But is it a case that some of these students only react in this way because they feel that they have one, females are vulnerable, one, and two, right, and this is part of disrespect for females generally in our society.
Yes. Four of the 5 cases of student on teacher assault that we've had since January have been cases where male students have attacked female teachers. And that too is one of, not that we would have treated the situations with any less importance or any less expeditiously, but the fact that we cannot allow our males to grow up thinking that they can put their hands on females. There is no respect for the difference in age, the fact that these people are adults, the fact that they are teachers, and even less respect for the fact that they are female.
Yes. And you have a classroom. The teacher is in charge. And there you disrupt the entire class. And then you proceed to assault the teacher. Tells me that this is something that you're seeing in the home. Something that practices that you're seeing that are acceptable. But it's something that we have to curb in our society. Where there is a rising level of disrespect for women. There is a rising level, and it keeps going on year after year for women. I wanted to backtrack a little bit.
But before we go off of that, where you have the point system as well of attacking teachers and you gain greater points by attacking teachers.
The challenge. It is the challenge that is up here now.
I myself would have had 2 episodes in the last 2 school years, 1 each year. Minor episodes, I would say. The first instance, one student made what he thought constituted a threat, and he told him simply, I will not be a statistic. I'm not going to fight with any child, but I will defend myself. And I'm not saying that responding I will step away, and I've done it before, because you have to be conscious of what you're dealing with, who you're dealing with, and what you represent, and think beyond that moment. That in itself is a constructive approach to having children understand to do likewise. De-escalate, not strive to find yourself in confrontational circumstances and then have them met with violence. I marvel at times. Well, as I told you, Sanka, I'm not sure how tall I am, but I am a true 6'5".
Yeah, you're only 6'5".
Well, maybe bigger. But my grandmother's all of 5'1", and she raised me. And I never had any figment of a thought towards raising my hand or my voice in the direction of my grandmother. I was 19 years old, knocking on her bedroom door, may I come in? Because that was what I was taught. It was inculcated, and it was in it. So you can't get out of me. To even reinforce that, I recall when she was an inspector of the transport board, many years ago. One morning here in Fairchild Street, she stopped to speak with one of the vendors who was selling nuts, and I put my hand in the box plate of the nuts, took out one, put it in my pocket. On our way to Belplain, I took out the nut, ready to get that from. I took it out, ping, bell, got off, back down the road. So I had no illusions whatsoever about what theft meant, what I should do, and what I should not do. I'm not going to say held fast or hold fast to everything she taught me in Lane. But in that regard, you have to set the example.
Share your perspectives with us. It's now 12:26. Of course, we break at 12:30 for the latest. So, before we take the break, we have at least 3 minutes at the most that we can get a reaction to that call.
I'll turn that over to Sean because he really started that fire. Because I'm seeing, and the caller alluded to it, yes, you would teach the children to read, but we started earlier. Mary made mention of it, the values, the behaviors. We need to work on those areas where children understand where respect is due and the behaviors that they must carry into any part of the society, in the classroom, in the workplace. But it's a spillover. You get that behavior in school, you find that young people don't last very long within the workplace. And I'm saying, yes, you teach them to read and so forth. And I wanted to hit on the fact and say, yes, we now have something in place by the Honorable Prime Minister. I am excited to see this take off. I can't wait to see, because as Sean would have mentioned earlier, we have a lot of paper, we have a lot of talk, and things don't happen. There are no follow-throughs, and there are persons who are not accepting accountability for the things that they're placed to do.
Welcome back to Brasstacks Sunday. This is Sanka with you along with Dennis Johnson. And we're here in the studio with Mary Redman, Janice Lawrence, and Sean Spencer. And we're talking violence in schools. And before the break, we were actually looking at some of the problems that we're having right now. We, of course, examined some of the outcomes of that marathon meeting that we had. We should be joined shortly by we were still trying to get the Minister of Education on the line, so we can at least get her in for the last 30 minutes. Bradshaw, are you there? Hi. Good, thank you. We have about 30 minutes or so to go on the program, so it's really going to be a race down the road. Yesterday, thank you very much for making yourself accessible. I know that you have to travel again today. Yesterday's meeting, 10.5 hours. We of course went over here some of the recommendations or some of the suggestions by the Prime Minister. But first of all, I want to get from you, why was that meeting even necessary? And what do you think is the purpose of the outcome of? What are the positives that we've gained from that meeting?
Well, first of all, Dennis, and good afternoon to
Sanka
in the studio as well. sorry, Sanka.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, and a pleasant afternoon to all who are listening as well.
Good
Let me
afternoon,
just say,
Minister.
the meeting was, thank you, the meeting was necessary, and it was, I think, long overdue. I know that the unions for some time, and certainly our teachers, have been requesting an audience with the ministry in this type of forum. Obviously, because of my illness and being overseas, we've not been able to have full disclosure and discussion at this level. But we have had intermediate meetings in the past few months with both unions talking about these issues. I think what has happened in the last few months is that we've seen certainly a further escalation of violence in schools, violence at all levels, not just in a situation of student-on-student violence or teacher-on-student violence, but also we've seen student-on-teacher violence also. We have to accept that the schools is a representation of the wider society. We're seeing a lot of issues in the wider society in terms of violence as well. And I think that, if you look at what has happened in terms of the school environment, it has become a very untenable situation for teachers to be operating in. And I believe the reaction by the union was something that I certainly supported in terms of bringing their base together to talk about the issue, and then being able to feed that into the discussion that I was having with the Prime Minister on Saturday, yesterday.